So I have got to talk about Albedo. This character is a lot more interesting than I thought. When I first saw him, I was not interested. I was just looking at thick thighs on Ganyu, and I was like, I am dead set. This is what I'm going for. But man, the first time I got to play this character, I instantly knew I was going to have to roll for him. I just knew it. I finally did it, as you guys seen in the video, which, by the way, 80% of you guys that watched that video are not subscribed to the channel. Definitely hit that red button down there if you want to keep up with everything Genshin Impact. But yeah, Albedo, man, this character is absolutely insane. I want to break him down with you guys, talk about my personal builds, and showcase a little bit of what this character has to offer with you guys, because he brings some pretty good things to the table. I definitely got to admit, he is a lot better than I thought. So let's talk about him. So, Albedo, this character at first glance with his kit just looks like a standard sub DPS, but there's much more under the surface that is happening here. Let's start talking about his talent first, his skill. This is going to be his Solar Isotoma. Now, this is going to basically do the Transient Blossom every 2 seconds after the first hit. So the first hit is going to come out, is going to do some skill damage. Then the Transient Blossoms is going to do 134% of his defense. That is one good thing about him. He does scale off defense, and we're going to talk about why that's so good in just a second. Skill duration is 4 seconds. Duration of the entire skill is 30 seconds, so that's never going to be a problem. He is going to be one of those characters, if you love to just set and forget, if you love to press E and switch for your sub DPS, he is going to be one of the characters you're going to love to have on your team. By the way, this radius that he has on this skill is massive, absolutely insane. You see how big this circle is. Let me get back down to like an area like this so you guys can see it a little bit better. So massive play range that you have here to work with when it comes to dealing that extra damage that I'm talking about. And the best thing about this damage that we're talking about is this is additional damage. It's not changing your damage like Chongyun does and stuff like that. It's not changing your damage into cryo damage or changing your damage into geo, because that's his element. It's additional damage on top of what you're doing, and any character on the field can utilize this at their disposal, and it's going to be doing the damage based on him. And this is why a lot of people love this new weapon that came out with him, because it increases elemental skill damage, not only from the initial hit, but from every single hit of this transient bloom as well. And it's going to increase the elemental skill crit rate by 9% as well. So once again, not even on that first hit, but them transients that's going to be having them transient blossoms on every single hit on 2 seconds. You're going to be getting this extra 24% elemental skill, and it's going to be crit rate increase on top of that as well. That's very good, on top of having high energy recharge, because he is going to be a character where you're just going to be spamming ults, because he gets ults extremely fast, because he does have that 40% cost, as you can see right here, energy cost. So very fast, and he generates team energy, I think, very effectively when it comes to mobs, because all these hits are AoE damage. Every single thing he does is AoE geo damage. From the first hit to all the transient blossoms are AoE in a close proximity, and then of course his ultimate is going to do more damage with the AoE spread when you have enemies. I mean, when you have his E skill already out there, which you will always have the skill out there if you're using this character. Now let's talk a little bit about his talents actually real quick. So the first talent is basically he's going to be dealing 25% more damage to enemies whose HP is below 50%. So once you get your enemies half dead, he's going to be doing more damage with the Solar Isotoma. So just more damage for him. Hey, you can't complain about that. More damage when you have that thing out on the field. This is the other thing right here. So using Rite of I'm just gonna call it Tectonic Tide. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that name. Yeah, so Tectonic Tide is going to increase elemental mastery of nearby party members by 125. 125. So this is going to be good for even co-op, but it's also going to be good just for you on the field as well. So you use this, you switch to your other character, you're going to have more elemental mastery on that unit. So he's also going to be helping you in that aspect. So not only is he just giving additional damage, but he's also going to be giving you elemental mastery for your other character. So overall, just a nice sub DPS helping your other main DPS do what they do best. So if you pair him with a character that needs elemental mastery for your main DPS, this is going to work exceptionally well when he's going to be doing, because you're going to be having ults up all the time with a character like this on the field. Now talking about his constellations a little bit, is he fine at C0? Yes. You do not need any of his constellations for this character to be functional in the manner that we're talking about. His constellations is just icing on the cake. You don't need any of this. It literally, he's totally functional without it. Now if you're going to get a C1, this is going to generate more energy recharge for him. Once again, his energy recharge is already good, but regeneration of 1.2 energy for Albedo with the Solar Isotomos, as you can see right here. then the C2 right here, this is where the character actually becomes better. Now if you do get this, this is going to be nice because this is going to basically give him more damage that that's going to basically go off of his defense percent. So this is where I'm going to change, say his build is going to change a little bit, because without this I don't think it's actually necessary to like do the a defensive build. You could just get the defensive stats elsewhere, but it's still nice to have them in like in your substat. But as far as main stat defense, I don't think it's really a thing to do unless you get this. Basically this is going to, each stack of the Fatal Reckoning is going to increase damage by 30% of Albedo's defense. This effect can stack up to 4 times. And you consume all the stacks of the Fatal Reckoning, increasing the damage dealt by the Tectonic Tide and the Fatal Blossoms based on the number of stacks consumed. So basically more damage based on the percentage of defense you got. Now one little tidbit here. If you are a whale, if you are a person that whales and you're thinking about Albedo, you haven't got him yet, or you have the character and you're thinking about some constellations and you want Shao and you are a person that is financially stable enough to whale, this will be a character that will definitely benefit Shao a lot because of his C4. His C4 solo isotama increases plunging attack damage by 30% for active party members within AoE. So within that giant circle we were just talking about, this is going to allow Shao to do the thing that he does best, which is going to be consistent plungings. It's going to just innately increase his damage by 30% for something like that. Now, of course, you try to use this with like another character like Venti, for example. Venti can create the wind, and you can basically slam down, and then if you short, it's something you're typically going to be doing on like PC. But if you dash cancel the plunge attack and you turn your camera right, you'll be still inside of the circle and you can pick yourself up really fast. It's a nice timing to it to where you can get it pretty consistently. It's not as fast as Shao's, but it's something you can still utilize if that's something you want to do. That's it, just for whales, but I just wanted to put that information out there that it is something that, you know, you can consider. Just wanted to put that out there. Now let's talk more about his actual artifacts, what I think you should be building for this character. We already talked about this weapon. Like I said, I think this is one of the best weapons you can have on him. Of course, you can do one of the 5-star weapons as well, but as far as like just ultimately this weapon right here is like it was made for him to use. But yeah, let's talk about the artifacts, what I think you should be using. Now for me personally, I like to run a 2-piece Noblesse and a 2-piece Archaic Petra on him, so I can get that elemental burst damage plus 20%, and of course increase his geo damage bonus that he'll be utilizing from his elemental skill. Some other good ones you could utilize for as well is going to be a full Noblesse set if you want. Is going to you know, increase your main DPS damage a lot by 20% for 12 seconds. Remember, his ult is typically always up, especially if you're running him in floors. And should, as far as like a lot of mobs, that's where he really excels. So anything like the spiral or something like that, or if you're doing a domain, this is where he's going to excel with something like that. Now if you want to run something like you can also run 2-piece Gambler, 2-piece Noblesse is also going to benefit him, because obviously you're going to be getting the more skill damage, and that's going to also be able to proc in between those Transient Blossom hits as well. So you're going to be getting light you know, decent amount of damage from that as well. But that's something you can also do. But I like to have this one right here, just the Elemental Burst, because Elemental Burst is already pretty decent. As you can see here, Elemental Burst damage is going to be 367, so not the highest percent, but you got to remember when the E skill is out, he's going to have the Fatum Blossom, and it's going to do 72% each for each thing that it hit. Now, it's going to be 7 of them that can happen at a time. This is going to spread out, so if there's multiple enemies, they're going to try to hit like, you know, a couple of the enemies. But if you have a smaller amount of enemies, this is going to pinpoint the damage onto one enemy much harder, which is going to basically increase that damage even more. Getting 20% more skilled, elemental burst damage on something like that, I think is definitely beneficial. Especially if you have like 1 to 2 enemies, that can really add up and really hurt the enemy, especially with his energy cost on that skill being so low. I think it's something that's very good and shouldn't be undermined. That's why I use that. That's why I think that's one of his best sets. But like I said, any 3 of those combinations I think will definitely work as far as artifacts go. Now I want to showcase them a little bit for you guys. I'm gonna do like a quick fight for the event, and then I'm gonna show a domain run to show the difference of like how much he's basically stacking here. So let's do one here so you guys can see this, and then we're gonna do one domain run so you guys can see how he actually functions there. So let's go and get that popping. But like I said, guys, I'm a big fan of set and forget, so that's what we're going to be doing here. That's going to be the name of the game. So basically I like to set all this down and just start hammering away, so you have everything going, and like pretty much, you know, you just get massive damage from all that stuff that's happening. Remember, his skill comes back extremely fast, so you're going to be able to see me do a lot of things here. As you see, like how much is proccing, it just hit for 4,000 right there, as you saw. 4,500 right there again. So getting a lot of big damage from the Geo, as you can see, while we're running through this. And remember, this is additional damage on top of everything else that's happening. It's actually insane. And you're going to be getting it super fast. As you see, ults are coming up really fast. He has his ult. I'm going to go ahead and proc this. Oh, well, he already dodged, so I guess that was kind of pointless. But yeah, challenge completed that fast. Like I said, really good. But this is going to be that region, obviously. So he's going to be getting extra damage from being in the Dragon Spine region. But I'm going to show you guys a domain to show you how this actually functions there too. Let's go ahead and get that started. All right, so we're going to be doing the Electro dungeon right here. So I just wanted to do a dungeon that I saw that doesn't have like any Geo extra bonuses, so you guys can see the real damage that my character is actually doing. Let me just show you guys real quick what he's actually working with, because I just realized I didn't show you. So right now he is sitting at 1,200 defense, 1,200 attack, 1,291 attack. But yeah, so this is what he's sitting at right now. His artifacts aren't completely done. You see, still plus 16, plus 16, plus 12, plus 14, plus 16. So not all the way there, but he still functions very well even at this state. And one reason why I was saying before why he is so good on why, you know, the defense thing is so good is because all those defense pieces that you get that seem like they aren't that good, you know, that have high defense on them, he can use these. He's one of the few characters that can actually benefit from all those defensive pieces that we get. And so you're going to have some really high defensive substats that you can already put on him that will work very well, because this game just loves to give you defense. Well, hey, we got some characters that can now utilize that. So, you know, back into the game's face like that. But yeah, so that is the reason, like I said, so running a attack piece on him is what I'm doing right here for this. Now, if I did have that C2, I would definitely put this on a defensive piece, because he scales off defense so much better at that point that the attack piece wouldn't even be like pretty much like beneficial. He'll just be doing more damage that way. But I just have him on the attack piece for now because I don't have a C2. Works totally fine. So you're well enough to do this as well. So yeah, just one thing to keep in mind when it comes to that. All right, let's go and get this run out of the way. Like I said, I'm a big fan of characters that do just toss things on the field and they can just do their thing like that. That is what I love. As you see, I'm proccing mad damage already, doing AoE damage. He has his ult. We're gonna go ahead and do that. Remember, duration on this is like 30 seconds, so you're gonna be fine with that. Mona is here, so she's gonna be at a time. Now I'm just using Beto for physical damage here, not really obviously doing the E skill. That's not really gonna help anything, but because we can have them all separate like here, it works totally fine. Got his ultimate again, as you can see. The ultimate very fast to get. And then, like, you know, if you're in co-op with friends and stuff like this, it's going to be even faster. Just one thing to keep in mind, because obviously there's going to be element reactions happening the entire time you're doing this fight. So it just makes it extremely fast. As you see, he's still like, even though he's not on the field, he's still just proccing damage for me, which is absolutely insane. That is just like stacking on top of what he's already getting. So yeah, just like, you know, I'm just hitting for 2k, and then, like, you know, then bam, this other like set of damage just comes out of nowhere too. Set that down again, put this out, you know, just keep putting things out. Have ultimate again already. Mona's ultimate up again. Like, it's just, you know, you have ultimates up a lot. She's going crazy. Yeah, it's so good. And it actually just makes things a lot easier too, because remember, you're still going to be getting these shields too. So be off the transits, you're still going to be getting the shields, which can help you out as well. So it just makes things even better. So he's also going to increase your defensive ability, even on top of creating your subject, just for him naturally being a Geo. Don't forget, Geo is actually just getting buffed as a unit as well too. So it's going to help that even more. As he's just getting a lot of ults. Procking a lot of damage here. Both of them almost done. A lot of damage coming their way. Character's insane, man. Like I said, he's not even done being built. Remember, this is This is over conjure. Like, these guys are level 90, as you can see. So I just got him to 82, luckily. So that worked out. I'm just sitting here eating the skill. I don't really care. Just maul through that. Invul through this. That'll be fine. And we're pretty much out of here. Just like that. Like I said, super super convenient character to be able to give you the shields, be able to give you the damage and stuff like that. Works out a lot. That's why I wanted to showcase the character. That's why I was like, he's definitely a lot better than I thought. Obviously, it looked like I took a lot of damage there, but I was literally just standing and stupid just because I didn't care. I was just trying to get the run done. But as you can see, it works very well, guys. Very strong character. Build's not even completely done. Not even the most optimal substats. Not even like fully optimized gear when it comes to this. I mean, I'm still using 4 pieces. You know, if I could get a full 5-star artifact set, it'll be even more damage. This is C0, proccing around 2k on, like, in this floor right here. So around 2.1k is what I'm proccing right now. It's going to be even higher when you get more damage and stuff like that. Like, it's absolutely insane. Just imagine, like, once we get this weapon even higher, because remember, we're going to get more refinements for this weapon, so the damage is just naturally going to get higher when we get more of this weapon. And obviously, when I get to level 90, obviously he'll be doing even more, because higher base attack means he'll be scaling off his attack percentages within his artifacts a lot more. Anyway, just want to showcase this character, guys. Let me know, what do you think about him? Are you going to be trying to get him? Are you interested in this character? Let me know. I definitely want to hear you guys' opinions on how you feel about this character, because I think he's absolutely great. I think he's a nice balanced character. Obviously, you know, he's not doing too much, but he's not doing what I thought he was. You know, I thought he was like not really working with nothing, but he definitely brings some stuff to the table. Makes it super easy for you to just play a character. Like I said, if you're one of those people that love to play characters that set and forget, this may be the character for you, because he's very good at doing that. Toss out his E, go to your main DPS, or toss into your other sub DPSers, toss out their stuff, put him back on, put your main DPS back on the field, bring him back in when you have to reset his cooldown, or do his ult, and then you just basically reset. Super easy. Nice AoE damage coming out of nowhere. Geo, just extra damage all the time. It's a lot of fun, and it's very good just to have that extra damage always there for you. But anyway, just want to showcase them, guys. Like I said, let me know what you feel, and I would definitely want to hear from that. Anyway, if you like anything you saw here today, drop me a like. I greatly appreciate it. And if you want to hear more from me, follow me on my socials. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications when you know the next video goes live. As always, my name is Daikin, and I'll see you next time. Signing out.